Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And so are you. Thank you for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I guess the big news is the horror of January 6th and the commission that's investigating it right now.
We had some testimony yesterday that was
We did.
heart-wrenching.
Compelling and provocative. And I think heart-wrenching is a good word for it, Jeffy. I do
Thank
think
you.
that's adequate.
It was.
You know, the piles and piles of bodies that lay everywhere in the aftermath. The fact that the U.S. Capitol was burned to the ground. And
I was more concerned with the name calling, to be honest with you.
That was powerful as well. That was horrific.
I mean,
Horrific. Somebody was called a traitor.
personally, I understand how difficult it is to have names hurled at you.
What?
Yeah.
Like what?
Just bad names. You know, people calling you things.
When did that happen to you?
Well,
Oh my gosh. That is unconscionable.
I know. But I mean, I can feel for them. I can feel for 'em. I know. I can
when
tell-
you were in school, is that what you're saying? People called you
Yeah,
names
and
in
after,
school.
and after,
And
yeah,
after,
and
even after school?
Yeah, and after.
So after school, when you're going home,
I mean, I
they
don't
would
know
call
that
you
I'd ever
names
be called
still.
a traitor, but I mean, I've been called dumb,
No.
stupid,
Oh my, no.
fat,
What?
retarded.
No,
Yes,
no one's ever called
wait
you
a second,
that.
I just welled up a little bit. I've been called retarded. I mean,
And that was after school when you
that
were
was
heading home,
after school. Yeah, it
carrying
was,
your
yeah,
lunch
I
pail
wasn't-
home. People would scream at you as you're heading home.
Hey, fatty.
That's not right. That's just not right. It's just not. But
I
you can
understand.
relate.
Yes, thank you. That's the point.
You can relate to
That's
the
the
pain
point, yeah.
and the suffering that some have gone through.
No one wants names hurled at them.
No, they don't. No.
I mean, holy cow.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned yesterday a few of the things.
Right.
The podium was carried
Yeah.
out of a room into a different room. Then I think somebody took it home but brought it back.
And then it came back.
They brought it back, yeah. But I think, windows were broken.
Did we I can't recall if we mentioned the crime of a barricade being moved. I can't remember if we had that
We
crime.
did mention
Okay,
that. Yeah,
okay.
because that was one of the biggest crimes. You got to mention that one.
Okay, good.
And we did. Yeah. One of the barricades is actually tipped over.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I
actually-
don't know that I knew that.
Actually hit the ground. Yeah. Yeah. So. You're diminishing what really happened that day. Shut up.
I know.
Shut up.
Yes,
I'm not
we
gonna
are
do-
diminishing what
Yeah,
happened.
We are because
We're diminishing what you say happened.
Yeah, it's been built into such a mountain that we're trying to just make it back into the hill that it was.
No kidding.
Maybe not a molehill, but it was
hill.
not a mountain. It was a hill. And, of course, it was the day democracy almost died. And so feelings are still tender right now. There are those who can't even think about that day without weeping. And
We had multiple people weeping yesterday.
we did. We did. One of those was Adam Kinzinger, who got a little bit choked up, offering his remarks. Here's what he had to say.
I never expected the day to be quite as emotional for me as it has been. I've talked to a number of you and gotten to know you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to tell you right now, though. You guys may individually feel a little broken. You guys all talk about the effects you have to deal with, and
Right.
you talk about the impact of that day. But you guys won.
Oh, you what?
You guys held. Democracies are not defined
We're not a
by
democracy.
our bad days. We're defined by how we come back from bad days.
From Baghdad. No, bad
How we
days.
take accountability for that. And for all the overheated rhetoric surrounding this committee, our mission is very simple. It's to find the truth and it's to ensure accountability.
I pulled himself together a little bit there at the end. That's great. That was powerful.
He did, man.
He did. Pulled himself together.
I noticed Adam's got a number of drinks surrounding him there as well.
Well, it takes a lot out of you when you're weeping like that all day. And so you're going to have to replenish some of the moisture that was lost in your body.
He was.
Yeah. So that's good. I'm glad he's hydrating. Also, Adam Schiff. Got a little teary. Adam Schiff, big time. He can't talk about this country without it choking him up.
When you think red, white, and blue,
the first person that comes to mind is Adam Schiff, right?
Guy. Well,
you talk about a man who loves America.
Bleeds red, white, and blue.
In fact, he bleeds stars and stripes.
Yes.
He does.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue stars and stripes. That's what comes out of his veins. And he showed that yesterday.
Officer, thank you. I believe in this country, and I
sure you do.
Believe in it because of people like you. Who understand what the flag means.
What the flag means.
And what our Constitution means. And
are you
risk their
serious?
lives to defend it. I'd like to think, as Amanda Gorman so eloquently said, that we're not broken, we're just unfinished.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's lovely.
Because
that is
if
heartwarming.
we're no longer committed to a peaceful transfer of power after our elections,
for the love of heaven.
If our side doesn't win, then God help us.
Yeah.
This coming from Adam Schiff.
Right.
We deem elections illegitimate merely because they didn't go our way rather than trying to do better the next time. God help us.
Pause it for a second. Have you forgotten about the year 2000? I know that's ancient history. It was 21 years ago, Adam. Have you forgotten selected, not elected? Have you heard about that? Good.
I mean,
every single time they lose, they cry about it, and they say that the election was stolen from them.
He spent 4 or 5 years on the Russia collusion hoax.
Right.
Saying that Hillary Clinton was robbed of the election.
That's right.
Agonizing.
Because every time they lose, that's what Democrats do. All right, let's see more of this heart-wrenching testimony.
And we're so driven by bigotry and hate that we attack our fellow citizens as traitors.
Oh, boy.
If they're born in another country or they don't look like us.
What?
Wait.
Who's doing that? Get it.
Adam, you okay?
Adam.
Oh, my God.
God help
This
us.
is embarrassing.
But I have faith because of folks like you.
Embarrassing.
I'm sorry. That's laughable. That's laughable. That is pathetic. There's no crying at congressional hearings. Come on.
There's no crying in baseball.
Jeez. That is absolutely asinine coming from Adam Schiff, who, like you said, took this country on a roller coaster ride of a hoax for years.
Lied to our faces.
Over and over and over again.
And we're to believe that he's Mr. Patriot now? No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, the Constitution. I'll bet you Adam Schiff's never even read the Constitution.
And Adam Schiff saying, God help us. Yeah, that's a good
right.
That's a good line from you, Adam.
Yeah, isn't it? Wow. That is just so hypocritical. So pathetic.
That guy, man.
Oh, he's agonizing. I love the start, too. It got off to a great start yesterday.
Oh, good.
Benny Thompson. Democrat Representative Benny Thompson is leading this thing. And here's what he said at the beginning. We're going to be guided solely by the facts. Solely by the facts.
Did someone stop him right at the beginning and say, are you?
No, but they should have.
All right.
But they should have.
Go ahead, Benny. I'm sorry.
The facts of what happened on January 6th in the run-up to that tragic day and what has taken place since. There's no place for politics or partisanship in this investigation.
Oh, my God.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Our only charge is to follow the facts where they lead us. Then he said, keep in mind, there's a place only for facts here.
Right.
We know that 7 people lost their lives and that more than 140 police officers suffered injuries. So much for facts right off the bat. 7 people lost their lives? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, we absolutely know that's not true.
First of all, it's 5, right? And they didn't lose their lives as a direct result of the riot.
But it's always been 5. So we've added 2 now.
It's 5. One person had a drug overdose. There were 2 heart attacks. That's 3 people. Let's see. Then there was a police officer who suffered 2 strokes and died the day after.
Right.
And then there was somebody shot in the neck by Capitol Police.
Huh.
Ashley Babbitt. She's the only person who died as a result of what was going on there. The only person. That's it.
As a direct result.
As a direct result.
As a direct result of what was going on that day. Absolutely.
Right. It's unbelievable. It is. So he lies from the get-go.
And I wasn't aware. I'm going to have to somewhere look into it, but I wasn't aware that 140 police officers were injured.
I wasn't either.
I mean, I know that I looked up at the screen at one point yesterday.
You know, what are we deeming injuries, though?
Right.
Cuts and bruises, or did they go to the hospital where they treated?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. So I looked up at the screen at one point, and one of the officers was testifying, and the print up of what he was saying underneath him said that he was called a traitor. And I thought,
oh, no.
Okay. Okay.
So
I can't. I don't
sticks
even want
and
to watch
stones can break our bones.
I guess so.
And names really do hurt us.
Capitol police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And your testimony is that, and he had a tear on his cheek, that he was called a traitor.
Oh no!
We
had another person crying. Oh golly!
Yeah, they all teared up. Man.
Wow!
They all could not hold back the tears, and good to know that we saw photographic evidence that they were actually being hydrated during the 1/6 commission, the day democracy almost died. So it's good. Unbelievable.
Oh, it is unbelievable. So that's not the only lie that Benny Thompson spewed yesterday during this hearing.
I thought he said we were.
No, he did.
Facts.
We're just dealing in facts.
Okay.
Then he went into this. I'd like to take a moment of my time to ask for a moment of silence for this is actually Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn, but you talk about we're just going to deal in facts here. I'd like to take a moment of silence for my fallen colleague, Officer Brian Sicknick, who died from injuries he sustained in the line of duty defending the capital of our beloved democracy.
I mean, we laid him in state, man.
I'm sorry. He did not die from injuries he sustained in the line of duty. That's just an absolute, disproven, discredited lie. It's an absolute bald-faced lie.
And they know it.
And they know it.
They know it.
And they just keep repeating it. They just keep saying it over and over and over again. The guy did not die by being beaten to death with a fire extinguisher. That isn't what happened. He had strokes. His family admitted it. His family said it the whole time, in fact. We think he died of strokes, but we haven't had the official report.
They won't tell
yet.
us.
They won't tell us. And then finally, months later, we were told he died from 2 strokes. So stop with the lying. Again, then they wonder, why don't we trust these people? Why don't we trust our government? Why don't we, follow blindly along every path they lead us down? I wonder.
And their whole point, and I'm sure we'll get to it at some point, but their whole point on top of all this testimony is to find out what was going on with the White House, the timeline, what was Donald Trump doing.
Yeah.
So it's just another.
And then agonizing Liz Cheney yesterday, that you're delusional if you don't believe that Donald Trump caused this.
Okay.
Donald Trump did not cause it. Donald Trump was not the cause of this.
I mean, if you go with the mountain instead of the molehill, it was really people like you.
Yeah, it really was.
Caused it.
Yes. Liz Cheney.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. All right. Let me take a minute and tell you about a brand new sponsor to the show. You know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam. It's a business scam to get you and your money.
They do a pretty good job of it.
Yeah,
too.
they do a great job of it. But don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. This is awesome because I can never remember to do this. I always sign up for these things, and then, oh, geez, there was one I signed up for a couple, like 2 years ago. And I signed up for it for one game, one college football game. You might be able to guess what college football team I was interested in seeing. So it was $20, right? So I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to sign up and then I'll cancel. Well, there's no way to cancel on the app, and there's no way to cancel on their website.
Wait.
And so I thought, okay, I'm going to have to call or do some work on this, and eventually I'll get to it. 10 months later, after spending $200 on that one game, I finally got to canceling it.
If had you had Truebill.
If I'd had Truebill, that would not have been the case at the time. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or you just, like I did, simply forgot about. On average, people will save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, they sure do. Truebill makes it incredibly easy. Just link your accounts, and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there with you when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so that you don't have to. It's fantastic. They have over 2 million users that have helped them save over $100 million. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/Pat. Truebill.com/Pat. Go right now. It could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Truebill.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
That's me. Thank you for noticing. 888-900-3393. By the way, if you want some delicious cookies, to help you get through this madness, maybe
Is there a place you could go?
there is a place you can go. Yeah, there is. It's Keksi.com. KEKSI.com.
Do I have to go to the Keksi complex and purchase
No,
them?
You don't. No, you don't. Well, just the website. You don't.
Oh,
have to-
okay. I
Yeah,
can just go to the website?
Yeah,
Then do I have to go?
but
to
you don't have to sign up for a subscription. We won't. We won't. Make you have a subscription for
I
2
think you
years that you
should.
can't cancel at any time. We probably
think you
should.
should.
Probably should.
get an assortment box monthly from Keksi?
Yeah,
I'm all for that.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
You're welcome.
Why aren't we doing that?
I
Maybe
don't
we are,
know.
and I just don't know about it.
I
It's
thought you
possible
were running
we
the
are.
joint.
I don't run anything. The only thing I did was pay for the whole stupid thing to happen. That's all I did.
All I did was try to figure out how the hell to stop this $20 monthly
That's
payment.
right. Exactly. So if you want a delicious cookie to watch the hearings by so that you can kind of
that's a good
tolerate them,
idea.
yeah, Keksi.com. Anyway, these hearings are going on, and they're going to get more and more agonizing as time goes on because, of course, it was the day that democracy almost died.
1-6.
So, 1-6. Yeah.
And I'm willing to voice the documentary.
You should.
I'm willing to voice the documentary.
You
if
should
you'd like.
voice the documentary. It will have to be a solemn one, though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you got
I
to
know
use
what
that
you-
solemn
I
voice
know.
all the way through.
The barricade fell.
The podium moved.
Words were being hurled at these officers.
Traitor was thrown out.
We beat
By
it
someone
out.
in the crowd.
We didn't want you to hear the word traitor.
There was a guy. One of the cops claimed that the N-word was used
Yeah.
and shouted out by a whole crowd. I don't frankly believe it. I mean,
Yeah, he
maybe
claimed in
it
his
happened.
testimony that
I don't know.
someone called him the N-word,
Mm-hmm.
and that he was told by another officer.
That officer was also called the N-word.
The N-word, and that the audience cheered and then hollered.
Right. Well, one woman yelled out, this N-word, something or other, and then everybody booed and called him the N-word. I don't know. It's a ridiculous story.
It does seem like that.
If it happened, it's despicable. It's
sure.
despicable.
100%. 100%. Now, that having been said, again,
I just don't hear people use it. We hang out with people on the right all the time. I never hear that word. It is so jarring. The officer said it yesterday. It is so jarring when you hear it said in its actual form, like without saying the N-word, when you actually hear the word said.
Outside of a music video?
Because you never hear it. Right.
Outside of a music video?
I don't listen to rap music, so I never hear the word. So when it's spoken, it's shocking.
Yeah.
And so it's just hard to believe to me that a group of people who are Trump supporters use that word.
I would like to have, I don't know, some video evidence.
Yeah, show me the evidence of it. Show me the evidence. Don't just say it. Prove it. Let's see it. In this era of everything is on phones.
They've got all the, thousands of hours of digital copy videos.
Right.
From everybody's phone and Facebook pages. Let's see it. Please.
And if 140 cops were really injured in a way that, outside of they were bumped into or they had a scratch or whatever, that is absolutely
100%.
unreal and despicable. And people should go to jail for assaulting police officers. Those people should go to jail. Put them on trial, and then let's put them in jail.
Okay.
Let's get due process going for them. But the day itself and the damage done to the Capitol building, which was $1.5 million, they claim. Then they tried to say it was $30 million after the maintenance team had already
reevaluated.
Sorry, no. It wasn't anywhere near $30 million in damage.
They looked at how much? $1 million. No, you need to reassess that.
That doesn't sound bad enough.
You need to reassess
multiply that by 20.
Yeah, I'd like those windows, the window panes that are broken. They need to be replaced in gold. Okay, $30 million.
It's asinine. The whole thing is asinine, and I'm just tired of hearing about it. And again, it's just going to get worse now.
Oh my gosh,
it's going to get exponentially worse. So we got that going for us. And then we have, the Me Too. I was hurt too. I was really, it's even worse for me because I was scared for my life.
Look at me.
Look at me. Look over here. Hey, I was there. I almost, not quite, but I was almost there. AOC.
I was in the city.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez trying to get in on this. She was interviewed, and listen to her harrowing tale.
That attack on the Capitol. White supremacy and patriarchy are very linked in a lot of ways. There's a lot of sexualizing.
They're very linked. White supremacy and patriarchy are very linked in a lot of ways. Name one. Well, I can't. There's just so many ways. I can't name one of them. Because if she just named one of them, it would diminish the other ones, I guess, because there's so many. There's just too many. She can't name any of them. Patriarchy and white supremacy are linked in so many ways. So many ways. These talking points are getting so old and so tired. They have every single time. They know they just have to throw out white supremacy, and then buffoons like AOC always have to throw out patriarchy as well. Okay, patriarchy, what? Let's see the rest of this.
Ways. There's a lot of sexualizing that violence. And I didn't think that I was just going to be killed. I thought other things were going to happen to me as well.
Oh,
so
like
what sounds like what you're telling me right now is that you didn't only think that you were going to die, you thought you were going to be raped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
She thought she was going to be raped.
Yeah.
She wasn't even in the building at the time.
She was in a building.
Who was going to rape you? Your aide? Your advisors?
Yeah, don't forget, she was hiding behind her door.
Who was going to rape her?
When security was looking for her.
Nobody was around her. There were no protesters that got to her. They were in the Capitol building. She was in one of the other buildings at the time. She wasn't even in the Capitol. Well, but I was surrounded by IEDs, by pipe bombs.
Right.
Yeah, there were 2 of them. And neither one of them...
They were going off all over the city,
all over the place.
All over the city.
Well, they weren't going off, but they were... they were in 2 locations, and none of them were near her. How is it she doesn't get called on this?
Well, because at the time...
You thought you were going to die and be raped.
At her argument is that, well, I didn't know there was only 2 at the time. No, but you knew you weren't in the Capitol. You knew you were in your office over there, I don't know, a couple of buildings away.
Right. Where nobody was bothering you in any way. So, again, who was going to rape you? I mean,
thank you.
You must have that fear every single day.
Right, because the person looking for you was the security guard.
Right.
That you were hiding from.
And that's who she thought, actually, I think that's who she thought was going to rape her.
Yes.
Was the security guard.
That's the guy that she was scared of, right? She didn't know who the security guard was. Right. That was the original story.
Yeah.
That she was hiding behind the door. They were knocking on the door saying, "Are you in there? Are you in there?" Yeah, they wanted to see if you were okay, just to make sure you're okay. We're checking on a congresswoman. Mm-hmm. You all right? Everything good? Because you're not in the building that the people are trying to get into. You're way over here.
So I think they already brought up, they also already brought up the gallows outside, right? They brought that up. That
At least we saw some footage. I saw some footage of it. I don't know that it was actually shown yesterday on the 1-6 commission.
So they will, though. They'll get to it. If they haven't gotten to it, they will. And we're going to hear that they set up the gallows to hang Mike Pence. That's where he was going to be hung.
And Nancy Pelosi. Right?
And Nancy Pelosi.
That one lady was hollering, find
one
Nancy
person.
Pelosi.
Yeah.
And we'll hang her.
Which, I'm sorry. Had they even gotten to Mike Pence, is there any question in your mind that they would not have hung him?
Not in my mind, but...
for Nancy Pelosi either. Neither one of them would have been hung.
I don't believe it. If let's say that they got to her, and 2 people are bringing Nancy Pelosi
they would have
out,
yelled at her,
dragging her out.
I don't think they would have dragged her out even, but okay. Let's say they drag her out.
Well, they drag her out. Okay, so
cooler heads aren't going to prevail. There's not going to be somebody out there that says we're not doing this. Hey,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're not really doing that. Please.
I mean, there's no way. There's no way.
Would more police officers have descended on that place if the Speaker of the House had literally been grabbed and was pulled from the building?
If the Vice President, the Vice President
and
of the United States of America,
they're dragged out near the gallows and we're starting to put the nooses around their head.
You got past that security.
Yeah.
You got past that, and now you're bringing them outside to the gallows.
Yeah.
Nothing else happens?
No. This isn't France, 1798. Okay?
Nothing else happens.
I mean, come on now.
No.
That's not happening. It's not happening. There is no way Mike Pence would have been hung. There is no way Nancy Pelosi would have been hung. And they're going to make a big deal out of that the gallows were out there and prepared and they would have killed these people. There's just...
It's no big deal that the gallows were out in front of the Trump speech, though, earlier in the...
Or Jeff Bezos' house.
Twice in front of Bezos'
multiple
house.
times with guillotines. They were going to cut his head off. Okay, nobody cares about that.
Nope.
That would have been fine. The Antifa people wouldn't have done a darn thing to Jeff Bezos.
They were just protesting.
Right, that's all they're doing. Got some tweets here. Extra white tweets. And the Oscar goes to Crybaby Congressman. Novocaine for the soul. Gentlemen, I'll thank you to not mock people who witness barricades being tipped over The horror is so real. I have PTSD from hearing about it.
Sorry.
Herb botanical sexist M. Herb. I've never seen a person love Adam Kinzinger more than Adam Kinzinger.
Yeah.
My word, as good as a Biden. Can we use the Ilhan Omar explanation? Some people did something and move on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right?
Nancy Pelosi, people do what
They
do.
do. They do what that was the riots, wasn't it? Yeah, people do it.
People do what they do.
You going to condemn them, or are you going to, at least talk about how maybe they shouldn't be doing? Well, people do what they do.
People do what they do.
Rock skipping gold medalist. Oh, suck it up, Buttercup, with being called a traitor. Republicans have been called Nazis, racist, homophobes, you name it, for the last umpteen years. We ain't crying. Right. Exactly. And how many times is it insinuated that we're all white supremacists?
Yeah.
If not just literally said that we're all white supremacists. Every single day. Every single day.
Every single day.
Kara 3022, we all love our police, but I want to see Capitol video and body cam videos of those 4 officers who claim they almost had their guns taken and were called traitors and the N-word. Yeah, I want to see that
please.
too. Yeah, let's see it and hear it.
Yes, please.
Because I'm sorry, it is difficult to believe. It's very difficult to believe. And frankly, I don't. Sorry, I don't believe it. But prove me wrong. And again, if they were using the N-word, it's despicable. And if they were, if there were 140 police officers legitimately injured, then all of those people who injured them should be put on trial and then put in jail.
So let me ask you a question. If I call someone, I almost said the word, the N-word, is that a crime? Is it an actual crime?
It's getting to be that way, yeah. But it's, technically, no, it isn't.
It's not an actual crime.
It is not a crime. No, it is freedom of speech.
I can say the word.
Yes, you can.
I'm not going to say it here.
But literally, you can't.
Right.
You can't. In any form, even quoting someone else.
You can't quote someone else. I mean, we question playing the actual testimony from that officer
which
yesterday
we didn't do.
From the 1-6 Commission, the day democracy almost died. I mean, right, we didn't even play the audio.
Because he said the word, he actually said the word multiple times.
Yeah.
We chose not to even.
It's
not worth it.
No,
Let's
it's not.
Deal with it. So.
Right, it's not worth it. I mean, the world has made it not worth even fighting to play or to quote someone or to play audio of someone saying it. But, I mean, it's not a crime.
Well, the South Lake girls, who were, I don't know, on a bus or something, and they were singing this rap song, and the N-word happened to be in the rap song, which they sang.
Right.
But they were white, and so they were suspended from school for singing it.
What?
It doesn't make any sense. The world doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense.
I know.
No, it is not a crime.
Right.
You can't. Yeah, it's not a crime to be racist, and yet people are finding themselves in jail, being charged with crimes of racism now. We had a story last week or the week before about somebody who literally was arrested for something that they said. Was it on Twitter? I mean, there's so many of these things now. You just can't keep them. Can't keep track of them all. But. It's not a crime, but
it is.
But really, in reality, it kind of is.
Yeah,
you're going to lose your job for it. That's for sure. If you say it at work, or if you said it on the air, certainly you'd be done. You'd just be done. And so, it's a powerful word. Powerful word. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Also, we have this new CDC recommendation. I guess there's a telebriefing update.
Yeah, there was a telebriefing update yesterday, and they took question and answers as well. But Walensky, kicked it off with her statement on their new guidelines.
And here it is.
Thank you all for joining us today.
You're welcome.
As you have heard from me previously, this pandemic continues to pose a serious threat to the health of all Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I have said throughout my tenure at CDC that our guidance and recommendations will follow the science in our efforts to protect the health of as many Americans as possible.
Will ya?
And today, we have new science related to the Delta variant that requires us to update the guidance regarding what you can do when you are fully vaccinated. The Delta variant is showing every day its willingness to outsmart us and to be an opportunist in areas where we have not shown a fortified response against it.
Pause it for a second. Okay, so the Delta variant has a will now, right? It's shown its willingness to outsmart them. It's got intelligence and it has a will. So this thing is, how do you beat this thing?
I don't know.
Can't.
I don't know.
It has outsmarted human beings. A virus has outsmarted human beings. All right, let's hear the rest.
Against it.
Mm-hmm.
This week, our data shows that Delta remains the predominant variant circulating in the United States. 8 in 10 sequence samples contain the Delta variant.
Okay, 8 and
in
10.
recent days, I have seen new scientific data from recent outbreak investigations showing that the Delta variant behaves uniquely differently from past strains of the virus that caused COVID-19. Information on the Delta variant from several states and other countries indicates that in rare occasions, some vaccinated people infected with the Delta variant after vaccination may be contagious and spread the virus to others.
Okay, stop for a second.
What?
Rare and on occasion is what she said. That people that are vaccinated spread it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But people who had been vaccinated can spread the Delta variant to others.
Right.
All right.
Rare and on occasion.
Let's hear more.
New science is worrisome and unfortunately warrants an update to our recommendations.
Okay.
First, we continue to strongly encourage everyone to get vaccinated. Getting vaccinated continues to prevent severe illness, hospitalization, and death, even with Delta. It also helps reduce the spread of the virus in our communities. Vaccinated individuals continue to represent a very small amount of transmission occurring around the country. We continue to estimate that the risk of a breakthrough infection with symptoms upon exposure to the Delta variant is reduced by 7-fold. The reduction is 20-fold for hospitalizations and deaths. As CDC has recommended for months, unvaccinated individuals should get vaccinated and continue masking until they are fully vaccinated. In areas with substantial and high transmission, CDC recommends fully vaccinated people wear masks in public indoor settings to help prevent the spread of the Delta variant and protect others. This includes schools. CDC recommends that everyone in K-12 schools wear a mask indoors, including teachers,
vaccinated or not,
and visitors, regardless.
They're going to saddle the kids again this year
with
masks.
Children should return to full-time in-person learning in the fall with proper prevention strategies in place. Finally, CDC recommends community leaders encourage vaccination and universal masking to prevent further outbreaks in areas of substantial and high
universal
transmission.
masking. Here we go again.
With the Delta variant, vaccinating more Americans now is more urgent than ever.
All right. So what did we learn anything new in the telebriefing update part 2?
Well, they asked about the breakthroughs. So we know that.
So is this a question answer thing? The second part?
Yeah, the second part. Now we know that she said, that all the kids need to wear masks and teachers in schools, and they need to go back to school. But they continue to push everyone needs to be vaccinated, and even the numbers in the 12 to 17-year-olds, she said there were 30% vaccinated. 30% of the children 12 to 17 have been vaccinated.
Seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot to me, too.
I mean, 12 to
and they
17,
want more.
That's a lot.
And they want more.
The Pat Gray recommendation, which, you can take or leave, whatever you want to do, is not to vaccinate your 12 to 17-year-olds. I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth the risk. I don't know why you would do it. I really don't.
And she goes on to talk, a lot about whether, everyone. Their deal is everyone needs to be vaccinated. Period.
Mm-hmm. 100% of people in America,
yes,
need to be vaccinated.
Yes, and she believes that the people, they're seeing, according to her, that the people who are unvaccinated are the ones, and I think she says that in the breakthrough response. The people who are unvaccinated are the ones that are going to the hospital and getting sick.
All right, here's what she says in part 2.
Thanks so much, Dr. Walensky. 2 questions. One, you said that you are seeing some people who are fully vaccinated contribute to the spread. Can you say exactly how many people you have seen from this data that are vaccinated that are spreading this?
Why do you need that number?
And secondly, when it comes to having everyone, regardless of vaccination status, wear a mask in schools, can you explain the thinking behind that? And are you worried that it will take away the incentive for some parents to get their children who are eligible to be vaccinated? Well,
of course, yes.
Thank you for those questions, Caitlin. First, with regard to your first question, we are now actively conducting outbreak investigations of what is occurring in places that are having clusters, and many of you have heard of many of those clusters. What we've learned in that context is that when we examine the rarer breakthrough infections, and we look at the amount of virus in those people, it is pretty similar to the amount of virus in unvaccinated people. We are now continuing to follow those clusters to understand the impact of forward transmission of those vaccinated people. But again, I want to reiterate, we believe the vast majority of transmission is occurring in unvaccinated people and through unvaccinated people. But unlike the Alpha variant that we had back in May, where we didn't
science, we don't have the data.
Vaccinated, you could transmit
and we're not
further.
giving you the data either.
This is different now with the Delta variant, and we're seeing now that it's actually possible, if you're a rare breakthrough infection, that you can transmit further, which is the reason for the change.
Right. So with those breakthroughs that they're seeing is that they believe that it's the rarer. They're rare, that they have clusters that they're studying now to see. They're not giving any numbers at all for those. And that if even the breakthrough infections, you can get other people sick. So I mean, if we're still supposed to believe that the vaccine works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in fact get out and get it, or you're some kind of freak. You're a freak of nature.
Right. I mean,
you're killing people.
The governor of
you don't care
Alabama
about other
yesterday
humans.
tell us that we should. It's our fault.
Yeah. Play that again from. Maybe we don't have the K Ivy still,
but and we were told also that all of this, all of the neighborhood people, the volunteers going door to door to give you information if you're not vaccinated and get vaccine. It's not government officials. It doesn't have anything to do with the government. These are just volunteers working in neighborhoods, and they're people you know.
They are?
They're
they're
volunteers.
People I know?
There'll be people that you know from your area. Yes.
I'm going to know
Let's
the people.
Let's be crystal clear about this issue.
Okay.
And media, I want you to start reporting the facts.
Listen to this.
The new cases in COVID are because of unvaccinated folks.
But really,
almost
that's not true.
100% of the new hospitalizations are with unvaccinated folks. And the deaths are certainly occurring with unvaccinated folks. These folks are choosing a horrible
How did she get elected? How?
Of self-inflicted pain. We've
She's
got
1,000
to get
years
folks
old.
to take the shot. The vaccine
And she sounds like
is
a
the greatest
moron.
weapon we have to fight COVID. There's no question about that. The data proves it. I've taken the shot.
Good for
back
you.
in December, both shots.
Both shots.
And it's just
she
the
got them
thing
both.
to do. So the unvaccinated
just the thing to do.
is who we need to focus on.
It's the cool thing for the cool
get
kids.
them to start taking the shot. It's their job to take care of themselves and us as well.
It's my job to take care of
We
you
can't
as
do
well.
that for them. All we can do is everybody take the shot themselves. So encourage others to do likewise.
What a moron.
Saving lives, but Alabama still is last in the country when it comes to vaccination rates. Besides, this emotional plea you just gave us, what is it going to take to get people to get shots in arms?
Here we go. This is great.
You tell me.
Uh-huh.
Folks supposed to have common sense.
Right, but they don't, right? They don't have
But
common
it's
sense.
time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks. It's the unvaccinated folks. that
Not
let
the
us
regular
down.
folks. Okay,
Yeah.
not the normal people.
Not the normal people.
The unvaccinated. We need to start blaming them. It's time to start blaming them.
Governor Cuomo told us yesterday
Jeez.
that it's not government, but it is government, because Governor Cuomo told us yesterday what has to be done to the people going door to door.
Yeah, he did. Here's what
And
he
we
had
have
to
to
say.
get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people, and put them in a car, and drive them, and get that vaccine in their arm.
Oh.
That's it, though.
That is the mission.
That's it, though. That's the mission.
So you show up at their house, you knock on their door, then you grab
You
them.
tell them,
and
hey.
and you put them in a car, and you drive them to a place where they have the vaccine,
right.
and you drag them inside, and you jam them.
That's
you
it.
jam the vaccine in their arm, and then you tell them, get your ass out of
they're
here,
not
go back home.
Right. We're not going to give you a ride back home.
No,
Just
I'm
walk
not even
back.
here walking home, okay? Because I had to drag you here.
You're too stupid to get the vaccine.
Stupid to come
begin
in
with.
of your own free will. I had to drag you. Now get your butt back home. Okay? You're vaccinated now. Get out. By the way, don't forget your mask. Wear your mask
That's right.
too.
That's right.
And you can't leave your house because you might infect somebody else. Now get home.
Oh, new lockdowns are coming, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Although
I don't know that we take.
Abbott said nope to mandates. DeSantis said nope. And so did Kristi Noem. So there are some governors who are just not going to go back
Missouri
there.
won't either.
They're not going back there. 888-900-3393. Triple 900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Jeffy and I are arguing about Kay Ivey right now. How did this old hag get elected governor of Alabama? Come on now, stop it. How'd this happen?
I mean,
somebody from Alabama clue me in on how did this happen.
I feel like they just had like this big governor issue in Alabama not long ago. Right, then she got in because of that. Maybe it was a Senate race.
Honestly,
I don't remember.
I've not paid attention to her since she got into office. This is the first time I've really taken note of something she said. But this is so incredibly stupid and un-American that it seems hard to believe that she's good on other issues. It's time to start blaming the unvaccinated, not the regular people.
But for you,
okay, Mrs. Hitler, let's start blaming certain segments of our society. Let's do that.
I think that is her name, Kay Ivey Hitler.
I mean, just come on. You just got to call it what it is. We are unleashed here after all, right? So
Yes.
let's just...
And she's what, 76?
She's 76. She didn't look a day over 97.
She certainly sounds more mentally astute than our president.
Oh, I don't know about that. She's got a problem with slurring her ashes.
You're using her accent.
No, I'm not.
against
It's
her.
not
That's what you
nothing about her
always-
accent.
Yes, it
You're
is.
slurring
You
her ashes
always
and
do
blaming
that.
the unvaccinated. That's what's bugging me. I don't care about her southern accent.
Yeah, you do. You think the accent makes people
Sounds like a
sound-
moron because of
Yes.
what she's saying, not because of the accent.
But it's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks.
Not the regular
Unvaccinated
folks.
folks that are letting us down.
That is come on, that's agonizing. That's agonizing.
I agree, but I just don't like you beating up on the old lady.
She deserves it.
You're a racist as well.
She's
You're
no.
a racist. You're a bigot.
She couldn't get any more white. What are you talking about? It's perfectly fine to be. In fact, it's preferred to be racist against white people. If you're racist against white people, you're doing the right
I
thing.
know. Racist against white people and Southern.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
You're
the
on
thing.
top of the world.
Yes.
I know. Never mind.
You're a
Then
hero.
Go ahead.
You're a
Go ahead.
hero, not a racist. Somebody from Alabama's got to call us and tell us how this happened. How did that happen?
Let us know. Okay.
Because you have her. Then you got Governor Buttcheese in New York.
I know. Cuomo. Oh, my gosh. That guy.
This guy, play what he said
How
again,
is he
it's only
even still
18
in
seconds.
office? I thought we were running him off.
No idea. No idea. Between murdering how many nursing home patients? Thousands and thousands of them. And the sexual harassment. And the guy's still in office.
Right. We're still treating him like we have to believe what he says.
What does it take? What does it take? Wow.
And we have to get in those communities.
Right.
We have to knock on those doors. And we have to convince people and put them in a car.
So you kidnap them.
Drive them.
Yep.
And drive
And get that vaccine in their arm.
And get that, and then just jam
That
that
is the
vaccine in their
mission.
arm. That's the mission.
I love
Kidnap people out of their own homes.
I love it. We have to convince them. Those old moth, we're going to convince them. We're going to convince them to get them in the car.
Yeah. That's essentially what he's saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to convince you.
I'd like you to take a little drive with me over there. Okay. How about you and I?
I don't want to. Yeah,
How about you
do.
and I take a little drive?
Yeah, you do. I don't really want to. I'm pretty comfortable right here in my house. I don't necessarily want to go.
I didn't ask you if you want to go. I'm telling you now. Get in the car over there. Huh? Then we're going to take a little drive to CVS. Then we're going to jam a needle in your arm over there.
Okay, what happens if I don't want to?
Well, then I'm going to have to do what must be done over there. I have to crack your head open.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
All right, I'll go.
Jeez. I don't know. And then you got... So you have 2 U.S. governors and the President of the United States. If you're not vaccinated, here's what he said yesterday. This is great.
Pardon? Will you require all federal employees to get vaccinated?
That's under consideration right now, but if you're not vaccinated, you're not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
Are you concerned that the CDC...
Then he walks away, then he stumbles, just shuffles away.
Look at him. He can barely freaking walk now.
He shuffles away.
Pandemic because the unvaccinated, there's so much enormous confusion.
This is where his people tell him don't do this.
We learn about this virus and the Delta variation.
Delta variation.
Okay, I got to listen.
And then only one thing we know for sure. If those other 100 million people got vaccinated, we'd be in a very different world. So get vaccinated. If you haven't, you're not nearly as smart as I said you were.
I said it twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so he insults your intelligence twice.
I love how he turns, he does the punchline, shuffles away. And his handler has got her hand on him, and they're ready to keep him going.
Yep.
And this is where, and then he turns around, and they're like, "Oh no, no, don't go off script. You said the line, you're good. Just we got to go."
And he wasn't good because
and then he mumbles,
just insulted,
and then he's mumbles more.
He just insulted about half of the American population.
Well, absolutely half the people. I mean, we're
a
at
little
what?
over half, probably 60% of Americans.
60 million fully vaccinated.
Yeah,
right?
it's almost exactly half. Actually,
yeah, we got another, I think, 30 million or 20 million with one shot, and then another 15 or 20 million that with one of the 2 shots. Right.
But the rhetoric around this vaccination continues to ratchet up here. Now we have this brain dead buffoon attacking our intelligence over it. If you don't have the vaccination, you're not as smart as I thought you were. Okay, that's coming from you? It's actually a compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Also, when he turns around the first time, look how he shuffles out.
Yeah.
This
That's
guy
what I
can
mean.
barely walk. Watch.
And shuffles back.
You're not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
Now let me. Wait, I gotta look down because here I go. What? Oh no. Okay. All right, we got it. It's.
Wow.
It's bad. It's really bad.
I want my damn Trump back.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's exactly right. But the 2 governors of U.S. states and the president of the United States attacking the unvaccinated.
Yeah.
They're systematically doing exactly what progressives do. They're nudging it first, and then if that doesn't work, they're going to shove. And if that doesn't work, they're going to shoot.
Right.
Eventually, it turns ugly.
We need to get them in the cars.
Yeah. We're going to get him in the car over
We're
there.
going to convince them.
I'm going to drag you by the hair out of your stupid little Quonset hut over there. Drag you by the hair, throw you in the back of the car, drive you to the CVS or Walgreens over there. And then I'm going to jam the needle right in your eye. That's what I'm going to do over there. You don't do that, crack your head open. That's what I'm going to do over there. So
amazing.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Amazing. And they have, they definitely, and they have the CDC backing, making everyone believe. It's really hard for me to believe that they don't have the numbers that we want, because I feel.
Oh, they have the numbers.
I feel.
They just don't want to give them.
Yeah, I feel like those numbers aren't what they claim they are.
They're not. They're not. I don't believe it anymore. I'm sorry.
Know.
I just don't believe it.
I know.
So Biden blamed the unvaccinated for the resurgence of the coronavirus pandemic. We have a pandemic because of the unvaccinated, and they're sowing enormous confusion. They're sowing enormous confusion? If those other 100 million got vaccinated, we'd be in a very different world.
Mr. President, are you okay?
But look.
All right, that's a wrap.
I'm not joking.
That's a wrap, Mr. President. We have to go.
I'm not joking. And then you've got agencies like PolitiFact trying to cover for him, because the thing is, some people are starting to notice that it was Biden and Harris all last year that started sowing the seeds of doubt on the vaccine. It
really?
was those two who started this in the first place. And why? Because Donald Trump was in the White House.
Yes.
That's why. It was all politics. And now they're saying, let's not make this political. Okay, it's all political to you.
All political. Absolutely, it's all political.
Wow.
And they tried, it seems they did try to say that it was Trump supporters not getting vaccinated at one point, but that really didn't
They're trying
work.
they want to blame Trump supporters, the Trump supporters
that
only.
Didn't necessarily
so
work
badly.
Since Trump is such a big...
He's the advocate for it.
It's his vaccine.
Yes, right.
I mean, he believes in it. He got it done. It's his,
right.
It's the reason we have it.
And he's vaccinated.
Correct.
And he told everybody to get vaccinated.
Correct.
So you can't blame Trump, and you can't blame his supporters. That's not what it's about. But let's go through some of the things.
And now I'm not opposed, but as you get to some of the things, but I'm not opposed to getting the vaccine. I really am not. I mean,
I'm not either. I'm just opposed to trying to be forced into
it. Right.
I'll get it or I won't, but I'm not going to do it because you tell me to.
And we're already at this point of we're almost 50% or about 50% of the American population is vaccinated. I mean, I don't know that. I mean, obviously they claim that they were expecting more than that, but I mean, that sounds like a pretty good number.
It is a good number. 160 million, that's a great
Asking
number.
the American people to do something and medically.
Yeah. And something that wasn't approved by the FDA. And by the way, here's some of the comments from Kamala Harris. During the vice presidential debate, she said, if the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it, absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, which he did, I'm not taking it. Okay.
If the Trump administration approves a vaccine before or after the election, should Americans take it, and would you take it?
If the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it. Absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
I'm not taking it.
Okay, so PolitiFact labels that false.
Wait.
I'm sorry, no, that's absolutely true. There it is, right there in video form for you. Do you think that we don't have, I don't know, something called recordings? Are they too new? Is it too new?
It is.
And PolitiFact just forgot about them. But PolitiFact,
oh my gosh, that's
we
what it
have
is.
Recordings. It's a really super new thing. We can go back and reference something somebody
from
said.
Space or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's newfangled. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. But there it is. But wait, that happened in the past. How do you have that? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's incredible technology.
They call it recordings.
Yeah.
I didn't name it. I just
again, we don't make universal law. We just live by it. That's all we do here.
Rules.
So I don't know how to help you any further than that.
How could that be false?
I don't know.
False?
It lacks context. It's false. No, that was the whole context of her statement there. You want us to play the whole freaking debate? That had nothing to do with what we were talking about? I guess we could do that. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But here's what Biden said. Charting a clear path of science-based vaccines free from politics. I get asked the question, if the president announced tomorrow we have a vaccine, would you take it? Only if it was completely transparent that other experts in the country could look at it. Yeah. Okay, they did. Other experts in the country did look at it. Only if we knew all of what it went into it. Because so far, nothing he's told us has been true. Huh. Now, you don't think that's so doubt into anybody's mind?
No.
He also said people don't believe that he's telling the truth. Therefore, they're not at all certain they're going to take the vaccine. Huh. You mean they're not incredibly stupid? They're just doubting because of what's transpired previously. And one more thing, he said. If and when the vaccine comes, it's not likely to go through all the tests that need to be done and the trials that are needed to be done, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's some people's problem with it. Right there.
If and when the vaccine comes. It's not likely to go through all the tests that needs to be and the trials that need to be done. When we finally do, God willing, get a vaccine, who's going to take the shot? Who's going to take the shot? You can be the first one to say, sign me up. They now say it's okay. And the question of whether it's real when it's there, that requires enormous transparency. You got to make all of it available to other experts across the nation.
So he's they fully can look medicated and see. There.
So there's consensus. This is a safe vaccine. If the president announced tomorrow we have a vaccine, would you take it? Only if it was completely transparent that other experts in the country could look at it. Only if we knew all of what went into it. If Donald Trump can't give answers and the administration can't give answers to these three questions, the American people should not have
confidence.
Wow.
Okay. Over and over and over, Biden sowed the seeds of doubt.
Absolutely.
About whether or not these vaccines are safe.
I'd forgotten most of that. That was incredible.
It is incredible. It's his fault. People are concerned about this. It's his fault. So don't come to me now and tell me I'm a moron for not jumping immediately into your vaccine world. Sorry. And I still might.
I know, me too.
I'm closer probably than I've ever been.
Me too.
But it really pisses me off. I'm really irritated by this. It's
look, no one loves the mafia more than me.
Right.
I'm a fan of the mafia.
No, who isn't?
But
sure.
When the mafia tells me they're going to come and, convince me.
Right.
They're going to convince me to do something.
Cuomo telling you, let's see, Andrew Cuomo. Oh, it must be done over there. When he's telling us they're going to come to your door, they're going to knock on your door, then they're going to kick your door in.
I have a tad bit of an issue with that.
Yeah, I do too. You know what else I have an issue with? Losing hair. I don't like it. And fortunately, now there's something you can do about it. And when it's time is when it's really starting to bother you. When you look in the mirror all the time or you're, running your fingers through your hair and you think, geez, I used to have hair there and now I'm just rubbing my scalp. That's not good. That's not good. That's when you go to Keeps. Keeps.com/Pat. you're going to find there doctor-recommended, FDA-approved hair treatments. And because they use the generic versions, you're going to pay about half the cost. And best of all, you can do everything online. You answer some questions, and you post a few pictures of your hair. Then a licensed doctor goes over all your information and will recommend the right hair loss treatment for you. Then it's shipped discreetly to your door. And if you have any questions along the way, you can message your Keeps doctor 24/7 and track your progress with Keeps Progress Tracking Tool. So to get you started, we got a special discount. Go to KEEPS.com, Keeps.com/Pat. Get 50% off your first order of hair loss treatment. Keeps.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
I am
on the Blaze Radio Network.
All right, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. You know what? Kay Ivey has given me a great idea. With the unvaccinated, what if we, in order to know who we need to blame, what if we gave them a badge that they must wear by law?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
At all times, they've got to wear a badge. You could make it color-coded, like yellow or red.
Did I see where they actually, and I don't know that it was true, but I saw some headline or a report where they were talking about if you were unvaccinated in the NFL, they were going to have you wear a bracelet, a different color bracelet. I don't know that that's true or not, but if that's true, that's
good idea.
There you go. Right, it's a good idea.
It's a great idea. I love it. I mean, I
say, why don't we just make them wear a different color helmet, or put something on their name tag or something on the jersey,
so you know who to blame.
Yes,
yeah, we got to know who to blame, and so that's a great. Thank you, Kay Ivey. That's a great idea. Now, she didn't specifically come up with the idea. I had to enhance it a little bit. But she's talking about the ones we need to blame, and I'm just saying, okay, well then let's show everybody who it is that they should be blaming.
Well,
right?
CDC Director Walensky said that it was the unvaccinated people that were causing the problem.
So did Joe Biden. Yeah. So let's get this done, please. I can't think of a time where anything like that has gone awry. Can you? No, let's just go forward.
I personally have never heard of the idea before.
I haven't either.
You would just mark people.
Just a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Right there. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Let's go to Adam in Virginia. Hey, Adam, you're on the Blaze.
Yeah, hey, good morning, Pat. Good morning, Jeffy.
Hey.
Yeah, so I wanted to comment about all these vaccine mandates and stuff that may be coming back out. Like here in Virginia, we're looking at it too. We just had another 800 cases pop up and get reported within the last 48 hours. And, I was considering getting the vaccine and all of that because I go into people's homes sometimes for work. I'm a pest control technician. And then Biden comes out and we start talking like vaccine passports like you guys were just alluding to just now. And then Biden says, oh, yeah, so everybody's going to the vaccine or else. And I'm just going, or else what? All right, fine. Bring it. Let's go. I've already caught COVID. I'm good. I've already had the 2 months of, living with not being able to breathe. Let's do it. But let's bring it on. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I know.
You don't get to tell me all this stuff.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly. You already had COVID?
I did. It was not fun.
No, I'll bet not. So you had the part where, you had a hard time breathing and all that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you could feel like I was taking a full breath, but I couldn't get a full lungs of air. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. I was exhausted, tired, fatigued. Just like if I did a handstand, like it felt like you'd have like just mountains of just goo just pouring out of my lungs. It was just not fun at all. So I was considering, all right, fine, let's go get the vaccine. I don't want anyone to go through this, even though I might have a natural immunity and might not be able to spread it. And
Did you ever feel like you weren't gonna make it?
No, it definitely was like I was thinking, oh my goodness, this was bad. This is horrible.
Right.
I have never felt like this before. I knew how sick I was. I had 103.5 degree fever.
Oh wow!
For about a week and a half.
Did you do Tylenol or hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin or anything, or did you just ride it out?
Well, I wrote it out as best as I could. I don't have health insurance. It's just too stupid and too expensive, $3,500 a month.
I know, we're coming up against the clock, I know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it, man. Plus,
got a network break here.
Can't even do a handstand anymore.
Right. I know.
Pat Gray.
Oh, man. Heaven help us with this 1-6 commission. Oh, my God.
The day democracy
almost died. In fact, I'm gonna go as far as to say it did die.
Oh, man.
In America, it killed democracy. The democracy we didn't have is gone. It's now gone.
But if we didn't have it,
yeah, how could it be gone? That's true. It's true. It wasn't there in the first place, but
it almost died.
It almost died. Anyway, so there you go. Got some tweets here. Jeffy's Meat Sweats. I used to qualify any 1-6 viewpoint with a statement like, it was disgusting. Yeah, us too.
Yes.
But I'm done. Yes. Thank you, Jeffy's Meat Sweats. Thank you for saying that. Us too. Many cities burned, countless dead, billions in damage is absolutely nothing to them. Yes, the riots from the BLM and Antifa last year. While claiming a broken window is an insurrection. Thank you, Jeffy's Meat Sweats. That's exactly right.
You're welcome.
Jeffy's Meat Sweats said a mouthful here, Jeffy.
You're welcome.
I'm glad your meat sweats are tweeting today.
Thank you.
From Sweater Yams, if they had any damning video from the 40,000 hours of 1-6, it would have been plastered on TV for 6 months.
You would think that.
You know the N-word?
You would think
and calling them traitors. There is no video, says Sweater Yams, and that's exactly right.
Would think.
That is a great point.
Yes,
if they had it would have played on CNN every minute of every day.
I mean, we know that the one officer claimed to have received that.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Look
if we
at this.
I don't know if we can say it on air, but I'm
careful.
going to say it. Corby, if you have to dump it, dump it. He received a threatening voicemail from a Trump supporter.
Well, it wasn't threatening necessarily, but it was vulgar.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
From a Trump supporter, not supporters. A Trump supporter left him a vulgar voicemail. And he's on CNN right now crying about it, whining about it. This guy's been on day after day for the last 6 months. Get out of the police department. If you can't handle a voicemail, it's a voicemail. Stop it. Come on. I can't. If I played all the threatening voicemails over the years that I've had, or emails over the years, or tweets over the years.
Yes.
Come
Thank
on
you.
now. This is asinine.
Now, I will say I've never had a threatening voicemail that covered 1-6, the day democracy almost died. I've never received any vulgar or threatening voicemails.
Right. Yeah, vulgar. Heaven forbid anybody say anything vulgar, because I've never heard that before. It scares me when people talk in a vulgar manner. I can't take it. Get off the TV, will you please? Will you please? And get out of the police force if you're still, crying and scared and whining about 1-6. Seriously, I'm done with it too. Thank you, Jeffy's Meat Sweats.
You're welcome.
From the Steve 42, is it me, or does this CDC Q&A, the one that we played a while ago, sound totally scripted? Yeah, it did actually.
I listened to it though. It's not. It is. They wait for the phone calls, and it's just the usual suspects asking the questions on the line. In fact, they went to the New York Times reporter, and she wasn't there. And they waited, and they were like, whatever her name was, and she wasn't there, And they said, we'll just put that line on hold. We'll get back to that, see if they're there. And then they came back to the New York Times reporter, and the reporter was like, "Oh, you can hear me now? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, no, I didn't fall asleep or disconnect or go away from my desk. we had a bad connection."
Did she ask her question?
Yeah, she asked her stupid question.
I bet it was brilliant.
It was.
I bet it was worth waiting for. I bet it was.
It was.
Yeah. The pickled squirrel tweets. When did we get to the point where no one ever can get sick? It's a great point too, because we've never worried about. We didn't worry about the pig flu or the swine flu, whatever that was, back in 2009 and 2010. My son had it, and so he was really sick for a while with that. We didn't think he was going to die or anything, but he was very sick from that. And a lot of people did actually. What was it? 20,000 or 25,000 died.
I can't read.
Nobody ever. More people had that than have this.
I don't even remember if I had it, but I do remember that to be about the time that I was, getting the flu shot. My doctor was making me get the flu shot, that kind of thing. I don't remember if I got sick then or not.
60 million people had swine
flu.
flu.
It's sure possible.
60
it's possible that I got
million.
it. I mean, those were the times where you would say that, I get the flu once in a while. I got so sick. I was down for the count for a week or whatever, But then you're back.
What I thought I had COVID, a month ago or so when I got sick.
Yeah.
I was really sick, but it wasn't COVID. But I went in, and the doctor told me that they didn't have a single case of flu last year. Not one.
Right.
No flu. How did that happen? That is so weird.
Because they were testing, right? And those PCR tests were that's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to have those other tests that break it up.
And I understand that the main test, the number one test they use, can't differentiate between flu and COVID.
Right.
Well, then,
and I don't know that I don't know
how many
that,
of the cases were actually flu.
And I don't know that I'd like to see the numbers on how Walensky is getting the numbers to differentiate the Delta variant from every other variant. I don't know that. If you're new and you get sick, we're considering it to be the Delta variant. But she said, 8 out of 10?
Yeah, she did.
Right?
So that's 80% of people who are getting it now have Delta variant.
But and that they have, she used a bunch of numbers that were the threshold numbers that were contagious, right? Most of them were, even the breakthrough. Most of the breakthrough were contagious with the Delta. Okay.
Oh, no, the cop is now saying on CNN, officer, indifference shown to colleagues by GOP is disgraceful.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're going to see indifference pretty soon because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. You haven't begun to see indifference yet.
No, you haven't.
It's coming, my friend.
We have Americans. Tweeting this very show.
Yeah.
I mean, under the guise of my meat sweats, but we know that's not possible.
Right.
It's
not
that
possible
they've had
for your
enough.
meat sweats to tweet?
Yeah.
Really?
No, yeah, I know.
Now you've disillusioned me. I thought your meat sweats sort of sweated off your body and crawled off somewhere.
You working for CNN now?
And then set up a Twitter account.
Gut check. Stop.
I'm disappointed.
We've had enough.
Yeah, we have.
We have enough.
Bovine Scatology tweets, hey, CDC Gov, if masks nor the vaccine, that's not a vaccine, true, don't stop you from contracting the Wuhan Red Death, what's the point of either? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we had the unrepentant capitalist tweeted, it's only fair because the Biden administration has been allowing COVID-positive illegals to flow unchecked into Texas. I mean, that's
Don't worry
a
about
huge
that,
thing.
Though. Don't even bring that up.
If you believe that he actually cares about you.
He doesn't care. He doesn't give
not one
a
bit.
rat's anus about you.
Thank you. Not one bit.
Nope.
If they cared about you at all,
they'd seal
COVID,
the border.
Absolutely,
they would
seal
absolutely
the border.
seal it. And it could be done. They just won't.
And they would have sealed.
They're doing the opposite.
And when the other countries like India, remember when India started the big Delta variant breakthrough, the India virus, which we can't call it that.
How dare you say it was from India?
It took
How
forever to stop people coming to the United States from that country and people from the United States going there. Forever.
Which is why it's 80% of what we're getting now.
Thank you.
Proud Mr. Graybeard tweets, the more the experts talk and tell us about following this science, I'm even more steadfast that I will never get this experiment RNA drug.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not there.
I'm not quite there yet either.
I'm not there yet.
But it does turn me off to it. It does push me back away from it. But you don't have to get the mRNA.
No, you don't.
You can get the what's it called? The aminovirus something thing from Johnson & Johnson, which is also kind of scary. And they're saying it's only about 50% effective now. That's what I read last week.
But you're one and done. You're one and done with the Johnson & Johnson.
You get one and done, but it's half and half. Well, I feel like I've done better than that already. I haven't gotten it. So with Johnson & Johnson, I can still not get it? Well, okay.
Right.
Or I might get it.
Right. And the mRNA technology, they've been working on this for a long time. It's just that, it's now obviously being used. It has been ongoing,
But it did
studies.
not go through the entire process. We know that.
Right.
Which is why it's been done on an emergency basis, not an FDA-approved basis. Jeffy's Infiltrated Spoons tweets, science, if masks work, you don't need a vaccine. If vaccines work, you don't need a mask. CDC, you need a mask and a vaccine.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we're close to being told we need to lock down again. And I guarantee we're close to being told that if you've been fully vaccinated, they don't want to say it yet because they still are complaining that we suck.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't been vaccinated, then you're the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But soon they're going to say, yeah, all you people that were vaccinated, you're going to need a booster shot. You're going to need that third shot.
Yeah, they're already saying that in some cases. Excuse me, it's Paschetti tweets. So my intelligence is being questioned by Joe Biden, the guy who can't put two sentences together without mumbling. This guy has an IQ equal to a rock, and he's questioning me. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
I know.
Yeah. By the way, he has all the intelligence of not a rock, but a bathroom bowl brush. And by the way, it's not all the intelligence. It's about a third of the intelligence of a bathroom bowl brush.
Bowl brush?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Really?
I hate to insult bathroom bowl brushes, but that's a fact. That's just a fact. You can fact check me, PolitiFact. Go ahead. President Joe Biden tweets, if the government just kept their damn mouth shut, more people would voluntarily get the stinking vaccine. This relentless push to force people tells us there's something else going on here. Yeah, and as Americans, we're just off-put by somebody telling us what to do, especially the government mandating things. No. Jeffy's Meat Sweats is back here. Joe insults and attacks entire states and millions of Americans regularly. Thank God we got rid of the guy who usually only attacked individuals who engage him. That was the end of the world, and this is nothing.
I know.
Another pretty good point there. All right, we got so many tweets and so many phone calls. Let's go to Constance in Alabama.
Oh, nice.
You're on the Blaze. Hi.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
From Alabama.
Are you going to explain Kay Ivey for us, or?
Oh, gosh. Well, let me just say that this morning and you mocking her was the highlight of my day.
Oh, well, good.
And I'm over it. We were an Army family, lived everywhere. We settled, planted roots here in Alabama. And, you would think a state with a motto of, defending our rights might actually care about those. But,
yes. Yeah.
Yes. So, like I said, we moved here. So we haven't lived here forever. But the gist of the story is she was lieutenant governor. The actual governor was by the name of Bentley, and people referred to him as Mr. Burns because he looked like the character on the season.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he had an affair, which is just...
that's
I
right.
knew there was some sort of controversy.
Yes, there was.
Yes. And so he ended up, it was one of his political aides, and I guess he used some of his funds for that.
Oh, yes.
Little thing.
I mean, who
coming
among
back
us
to me
hasn't
now?
used a little business for, use a little money for business? That's part of the political run, right?
Sure. Okay, so...
Yeah, so when he resigned so that he wouldn't go to prison, she just kind of stepped into the role.
Right.
And, yes, and so shortly after that, we had an election and people just went ahead and reelected her. And personally, I didn't know, and we hadn't lived in Alabama long enough for me to really know anything about her. But
where she stood,
had some questions. Right, how can you be the second in command when that was going on and still be okay.
Right.
But
That's
then
a good
she got
question.
An actual election and was elected, and I think it was this whole endearing, she reminds people of their grandma kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I would elect my grandma governor of my state.
Wow, really?
Well, really, because they're both dead and have been for probably since almost my whole life.
I'm sorry.
But that's so that's just one issue. But there are others
But
where I don't
people
think they'd be an
call her-
ideal governor.
Yeah, people call her Meemaw K.
Oh,
And,
jeez.
that's just
Oh,
kind
my
of the-
gosh.
But I will tell you that every Constitution-loving, freedom-loving Alabamian that I know cannot wait for the primary.
Really good.
Okay.
Is that and when
We
will
are-
that
we are
be?
over it.
Is that not until?
We've still got a little bit. I think it's another year or so. But I mean, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the shot. And us regular folk, we care about our rights.
Yeah, but if you're, are you still in close contact with the military?
My husband is retired, but he's a government contractor. But he's been teleworking for the last, forever.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not in close quarters, but they are going to, especially now with this whole federal mandate that they're wanting to do. I mean, he don't want it, and I'm not going to get it. I mean, I work from home. I'm self-employed, but he's
He might not be
concerned
able to
about-
continue though without it.
It's
I
true.
don't know. Well, I mean, one of his coworkers just died after getting it. So
Oh man,
that's
so
sad.
I know.
Appreciate the call, though, Constance. Thanks for clearing that up for us. That's a good reminder because, it was way in the back of my mind that there was some sort of scandal there.
Yes, thank you. I forgot it was the
And she kinda
affair.
took advantage of that,
Right?
because she's probably not having an affair.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
So let's get
And I'm
somebody
a
in the
little
office
pissed.
who's not having an affair. I think you did the right thing if that was the only criteria. Okay.
That may have been one of the criteria they had on the list.
Yeah. Maybe you should look into other points of view, though. I don't know, some of her policies and her ideology.
And by the way, I don't know that you can actually prove she's not having an affair.
Do we have to play the tape again? We do have these things called recordings. Look at this. You tell me if she's having an affair.
Okay.
But it's time to start blaming the unvaccinated
I'm gonna say no.
folks, not the regular folks.
Really? Just
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Unvaccinated
Just based
folks
on
that let
yeah.
us stay.
I don't know.
My verdict: no affair.
Pretty good, nice looking hair.
Yeah, there is that.
I'm saying.
Yeah, there is that. Joe in Indiana, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, Pat. Hey, how you doing today?
Hey,
Good. We're both good.
Yeah.
Me and Meat Sweats.
And me too.
Right on. First time I've got a chance to call in, but I wanted to say about this vaccine that they keep telling us about.
Yep.
The simple truth of the matter is, over the last 20 years, how many drugs have been released to us, said that it was okay by the FDA, totally tested, and totally safe for the American public, only to 5 years later, you got people dying, developing debilitating symptoms because of these drugs, and now we're being told that this vaccine is completely safe.
Right.
I mean,
It's a good point.
I'm not taking it. I mean, I'm 51 years old. I'm probably in one of those criteria because I'm overweight. But again, I've got enough common sense to know that my health and my safety is my responsibility. It's not the government's, and it's not yours.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Joe. It's true. I mean, they approve drugs all the time that we're told are safe and FDA approved. And then what was it with the with Fen-Phen?
Oh yes.
Remember the Fen-Phen thing?
Yes.
Like 250 or 500 million people had been taking it, and then 3 of them died. I mean, it was a tiny. I don't remember the exact number. I'm pretty sure
was
it
really
didn't even
low.
hit triple digits.
No.
So you talk about rare, the deaths caused by something, and they took it completely off the market. Immediately after hearing about any death associated with Fen-Phen, it's gone forever. But the thousands and thousands of deaths that have been recorded on the CDC website, the VAERS section of the website, that's meaningless. Don't even worry about that. That's so rare. Well, yeah, it's kind of rare, but it's Not as rare as some of the deaths where you've absolutely taken things off of the market forever. You know how many people died in the Tylenol thing? Remember the Tylenol?
Right.
The poisoning in, 80, 81, somewhere in there?
I mean, that changed.
50 people.
That changed the way medicine goes on shelves, man.
It was 50 people, and it changed the world. How many people take Tylenol? Hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
So, they've been more careful with other things, that's for sure. And you weren't quite so stupid if you questioned, why are you changing everything because of the Tylenol deaths? Why did you take Fen-Phen off the market for just a few people who experienced problems? I mean, come on.
And by the way, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey announced in June of this year that she's running again.
Good.
For re-election.
Yay. And when is it? Is it next year?
Yeah, 2022.
2022. Okay. Well, Alabama, I don't want to hear of her winning again. Okay? I want you to remember this. Mark in Florida, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, Pat and Jeffy, how are you?
Doing good.
Good. Hey, I'm in the Tampa area here, so I'm calling about Jeffy's comment about the yellow wristbands that an NFL team.
Yeah.
That's going to be the Bucks.
Wow.
Really? Oh, yeah, because Bruce Arians is big time a vax guy, man. He believes everybody should be vaccinated, and if you're not, he wants to fine you and run you out of town.
Right, yeah. And so I called the front office. I called someone in the communications department there and told them I'm a Tampa native, been following the Bucks since their inception, and I was a little confused about the story. I said, it looks like they're going to be wearing, if they're unvaccinated, a yellow wristband to identify them.
And what will that mean? What will that mean exactly? If you're on the team and you have a yellow wristband and you've not been can you not hang out with the team?
You're the unwashed.
Yeah.
You're just one of those. But anyway, so the guy kind of quietly said, "Well, that's a private communication between the team members and the owners here and the coaching staff." And I said, "Well, it's a story on the web, so it's not too private." and I said, "Well, I'm curious because the Bucs won the Super Bowl last year, right?" And he goes, "Well, yeah." And so they're the stars of the NFL. They're great. They're the stars. I said, "Well, doesn't it make sense that instead of a yellow wristband, they should have to wear a yellow star? Kind of like what the Nazis made the Jews wear to make them stand out."
Wait, what?
And and he got quiet. He didn't say anything, and I said, "No comment." And he said, "Well, we thank you for
Thanks
calling."
for calling. Thanks for calling.
Yeah,
really
we'll
appreciate
pass along your concerns.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and he had nothing to say. And I just
Good
when
for
I
you.
read that, I thought that is just disgusting.
It is.
Yeah, but
It's despicable. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. It's frightening what's happening. It's frightening because what's your yellow wristband going to mean? What does that say to your teammates? You can be persecuted.
I guess
you can't. You're going to have a separate
from
locker
you.
room.
Yeah, we have to stay away from you. It's your fault. If the fans. I mean, what is that? The fans, loser, unvaxxed.
What are you? It's dangerous territory.
Shame.
Right. We're just plain in dangerous territory. But don't worry about it.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
Stop it. Quit your whining.
Everything's awesome. When you're part of a team or a country, everything's awesome. So we're just going to celebrate awesomeness until tomorrow.
Okay.
When we'll be back and do this all over again.
Great.
Only different.
Excited.
See you tomorrow here on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.